how did Jeff Sessions go from one of Donald Trump's earliest supporters to on the outs and out of a job? Let's connect the dots. It all started out pretty well. Sessions was the first senator to endorse Trump during the 2016 presidential election, giving the New York businessman some street cred in Washington. Sessions was rewarded with the post of Attorney General, and he tackled it with gusto, focusing on the conservative agenda. Then came the Russia probe. Sessions recused himself since he had ties to the Trump campaign, and that did not sit well with the president. According to reports, he viewed it as an act of disloyalty. He expected his Attorney General to stand up and fight. He started criticizing Sessions publicly. Then in September, President Trump told a reporter he had no Attorney General, leaving no one surprised when Sessions lost his job. Connecting the dots, Stephanie Whitfield, KHOU 11 News.